Sometimes, not often, do I get that feeling, going back and reliving the little moments again. You know what I mean. I was recalling that time I would watch anime till 3, 4 a.m. on a school night 10-ish years ago, causing me to be a sluggish mess every morning and have the eye bags of a coke addict at 11 years old, and red eye worse than the one in Cowboy Bebop. Obviously though, my parents didn't know. I would snuggle myself into bed and cover myself with 3 blankets to prevent the light from my phone showing through them. Hell, I was so desperate and obsessed that before I even got my first pair of headphones, I would watch anime with only subtitles and no sound. I guess that also ended up being my awakening to only liking subbed anime and, in a peculiar way, reading in general. Anyway, I even remember my science teacher telling me to speak with her after class a few times. We were talking about me dozing off, but I wasn't on anything. I was just addicted to anime. Though the reason why I'm reminiscing about my past right now is because of a certain anime, one that was released in 1984, but still mattered so much to a little kid who didn't see it until 30 years after its release. It taught him strength should be used to protect those who cannot protect themselves, and strength is not only physical, but kindness. Guys, holy shit. Anime Jesus just got a remake. I watched the first 4 episodes of the Fist of the North Star anime, and it has not been getting the attention it deserves. In all honesty, this is a pretty good anime, so what gives? The majority consensus across all rating sites is that this remake failed, and each review seems to be fueled by the preconceived notion that all CGI anime must be bad anime, and they can't show any signs of improvement over several years of developing the craft. Thus, it was bound to be hated on release. In fact, when reading some reviews, people are bashing its quote-unquote bad CGI and labeling it unwatchable. Like, have they seen its predecessor? The anime was released 42 effing years ago, and sure, it is one of the most beloved series, but it's bad. Animation does not make it unwatchable in the slightest. I watched that old anime, and this is a major improvement. It does not affect the story. Is animation important? Yeah, I'm not oblivious to that. But as long as there is noticeable and realistic character development, intricate world building, and a plot that can keep me on the edge of my seat, I can bear with animation I don't like. Although, viewers are ignoring what I listed before, since according to them, this is a CGI slugfest. Because apparently bad animation equals, well, bad writing. The source material already presents whatever I already listed above, and the remake damn near follows the original story beat for beat. So, who are they kidding? People really act as though any CGI in any anime is a disgrace and an affront to God, like Kevin Durant is to basketball. I still have not forgiven that pussy for ruining the league for several years, and I don't even like LeBron. So imagine their reactions when they saw it was going to be completely CGI. Even before its release, you can find fans writing it off solely due to its animation. Hell, Moist Critical made a video on it 9 months before the show's release, and he took the fattest dump on it with his only viewing experience of the remake coming from a 1 and 20-second teaser. And I like Moist, but what the fuck, man. Anyway, this video has racked up damn near 1 million views, as he acted as like he saw the entire anime again 9 months before its release. Comparatively, that teaser received 856,000 views on YouTube, but Moist Critical's video got 892,000. So I'm sure his video costed the show a lot of possible viewers, as they for sure as hell need it right now, because it's getting less views than goonbait material on YouTube.
What up, invaders? Chris here.
For little Timmy before he discovers corn. So I'm here to save little Timmy's dopamine and the Fist of the North Star remake. Now, before everyone starts spamming the dislike button and saying, of course this Fist of the North Star fanboy is supporting this dog shit, yeah, I can admit I likely have a bias towards the remake. But if you think about it, I have every reason to dislike it and tell you guys not to go watch it. Because why would I want to see them tarnish the Fist of North Star's name? Right? So, hear me out. You all need to learn forgiveness and giving second chances, just as Jesus did for Judas.
I forgive you, Marty.
You must throw out all your previous perceptions on CGI anime and give it a second chance. Firstly, I'm going to give a quick synopsis of the first story arc. It's simple, even for its time. The classic trope of a damsel in distress. The year is 1990X, 1999X, 6767, 6969, whatever the hell you want to say. You know, you Gen Alpha, Gen Z kids. I am 21, but I like making fun of it too sometimes. And the world is in a post-apocalyptic state, closely resembling the world of Mad Max. Who's watched that movie? I know I have. If you haven't, it's pretty underrated. Go check it out. Kenshiro, the strong and silent protagonist, treks across this living hell in search for his ex-fiancée, who is captured forcibly by King. Along his journey, he perfects his divine fist of North Star martial art to assassinate powerful foes, while he carries a curse mark on his chest of the Big Dipper. Chaos will follow him wherever he goes. See? Pretty quick. You cannot fuck up the story, and I am beyond ecstatic and proud to say, nor does the remake. Even if the 200 IQ pretentious douchebags of my anime list who rated a 6.39 would beg to differ, the same type of people who thought the love story in your name was utter perfection, and anyone who disagrees is society's lowest level of man, human trash, a League of Legends player. By the way, growing up is realizing they were in a pen pal relationship because all they ever did was communicate through text. And no, them living each other's lives and switching bodies does not and should not pertain to them falling in love. But whatever, that's for another video. Remember when I stated that this was beat for beat to the original source? Let me rephrase that to panel for panel. There is minuscule difference from this anime to the manga. Only difference is that it is animated with some of the most impressive CGI in recent years, has a wonderful score with some tearjerkers, and absurdly good voice acting performances that perfectly capture the sometimes campy, sometimes overly serious tone the story goes for. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. They also pay homage to the 1984 anime with a rendition to Iowa Torimodose, the opening song of the old anime, and use it as a closing song for the remake. Oh wait guys, I just noticed this sounds like a good anime. I know, impossible. But before I get carried away, I have to talk about the meat and potatoes of any shonen anime, the fight scenes, which are done very well, A for CGI standards, from the ripping the panel straight from the manga and animating the fight choreography to the animators giving a damn well thought out smearing of blood across the screen when Kenshiro blows up a guy from the insides. Yeah, pause. Alright. In a brutal fashion to the shattering of the screen when he lands his final blow. Like, kudos to them. Each display a 3D effect and animators' care and passion to this project. People have gotten so used to anime looking like JJK, Demon Slayer, and Chainsaw Man, they are beginning to feel as though all anime should look like them. But when and if it doesn't, the animation is bad, trash, unwatchable, disgusting, and blinding, deviating their eyes far from the reality of it. Those animes just have really fucking good animation, and studios with a budget to support it. Also, the remake's animation being CGI was never given a fair chance in the first place. So I'm going to be the superhero over here. I'm going to give it that fair chance. I'm going to show you a few seconds of a couple fight scenes from this anime. I am not arguing for the fluidity of the fights, as they are simply not fluid, but they do have the 80s aesthetic modernized, which gives a unique viewing experience of 1 versus 1 combat, which is reminiscent of a video game, making you feel as though you are fighting as Kenshiro. Individual fights are given sole attention, which does not ground them in realism, but it does amplify the meaning of each one. Enough yapping though. I'm going to play the clips. The silhouettes of the derelict buildings against a black and white backdrop evoke the bleak, hopeless, and post-apocalyptic setting, providing the fight center stage without any distracting visual noise. Consequently, each attack from Kenshiro is prioritized and their impact is felt through the screen, signifying this is a shonen fighting anime. Moreover, the CGI enhances the visuals in this anime rather than the contrary belief of CGI being a cost-effective and lazy approach to animation. Instead, it aids Fist of North Star, particularly because it leverages that it is a fight resolves conflict story. Their stylistic choice elevates the manga, and is that not the purpose of animation? Sure, Berserk 2016 was unsuccessful, but it removed arcs and it was made, let's do some math guys, 10 fucking years ago. That's a long ass time if you ask me. CGI in anime has improved greatly since then. More recently, Dragon Ball Superhero used CGI and was one of the most impressive showings of the potential of 3D CGI in anime. Could these anime be done in 2D to please every damn viewer? Oh yeah, sure of course. But that should not make studios wet their pants at the fear of losing the paper. Continuing to explore the possibilities of CGI in this medium of entertainment is a necessity to innovate it. After all, we all want to see improvement, and that comes from trial and error. Maybe one day the standard 2D animation and 3D CGI can coexist with one another, when CGI is no longer judged for its existence, but the quality of its animation. I can reward ambition when the effort is clear, and it is for Fist of North Star. The rustling of tumbleweeds replaces the once lively sounds of a rich and prosperous land. The earth is ablaze as the sun severs the sky. The skin withers to thirst and heat, causing the flesh to shrivel and leave only hollow bones behind. Japan was shattered by nuclear war. Hope was once vibrant in what is now a wasteland. Desperation is all that is left. The world of Fist of the North Star is a fucking shithole. The Earth is a remnant of the global nuclear war, and Japan is governed by the supreme law of the land, strength. The resources that were once readily available have fallen to the brutality of war as scarcity reaches astronomical levels. The remake utilizes 3D CGI's ability to be hyper-realistic through vividly depicting this setting. And if I'm speaking truthfully, I had similar opinions to most of you when it came to seeing that this remake was going to be animated using this cursed technique. But I reached enlightenment. I came to an understanding of why they made this decision, rather than just complaining about it. The Fist of the North Star is a bloody and gory mess, and a series for people that want to see people's heads getting blown off in grotesque and imaginative ways. Could I be coping? Maybe. But what best to portray this than the lifelike animation 3D CGI brings to the table? Even still, the remake is currently failing unfortunately due to its poor reception and not attracting viewers' attention, which is a shame. Because not only is the animation genuinely exceptional for CGI standards, the Fist of North Star also probably fathered the shonen anime of today, and if it did not, it definitely fathered their inspiration. The king of shonen was supposed to regain his throne, but instead is receiving no love upon his return. I need and want this anime to make headlines, just as I needed and wanted to watch anime covered under my blankets many years ago, when I first watched the original Fist of North Star a decade before. Aside from its unsubtle inspirational messaging, its thematic undertones of masculinity deriving from the strength to serve the weak, and that strength embodying a kind man opposed to the obnoxious, selfish, and abrasive man is prominent more now than ever. This North Star is a story for today. Do not make a story of yesterday. The anime was clearly made by people who care for the source material dearly, and wanted to pursue an approach that is profusely frowned upon. And whether they redeemed the animation style or not, fans dismissed it with a pre-existing bias against it, causing one of the most beloved and essential series in anime and manga history to become a mostly disregarded seasonal anime. To them, it was not ambition, but stupidity, which produced the 2026 Fist of the North Star, which is stupid. But I guess I am too, because to me, even this is beautiful. Thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully I was convincing enough, and if not, no worries. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to talk about whatever anime and manga I feel like talking about, maybe do some reviews or videos on series that are being overlooked in the future, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.